future in our hands, trading in crypto, making our own demands. Charts on fire, markets on the rise. Blockchain babe with the laser eyes. All the way, she's a blockchain babe. No cash, no cage. She's got wallets full of games, while the world goes up in flames. She flips the coins, never looking back. No fear, no doubt, she's on the attack. Buying the dips, stacking up her stash. Blockchain babe with the laser eyes. Oh, she's a blockchain babe. No cash, no cage. She's got wallets full of games, while the world goes up in flames. She flips the coins, never looking back. No fear, no doubt, she's on the attack. Buying the dips, stacking up her stash. Blockchain babe with the crypto cash. All the way, she's a blockchain babe. No cash, no cage. She's got wallets full of games, while the world goes up in flames. Already, she's a blockchain babe. No cash, no cage. She's got wallets full of gains, while the world goes up in flames. Blockchain babe, she's here to stay. In the world of crypto, paving the way. Decentralized power, she's in control. Blockchain babe, she's better than gold. Goes up in flames.
and broken screens.
AI rules the new machine. Miners dig, but they don't eat. Fiat's dead, we're on the street. Cash is burning, banks are dust. No more trust, no more us. Robots took the 9 to 5. Now we fight just to survive. Burn it down, no control. We're the ghosts of the protocol. Should break the chains, take it back. Crypto punks don't fade to black. Crypto mortgage. Billionaires just pull the strings, hoarding coins like cyber kings. We were promised something more, but we're just numbers in a war. Cash is burning, banks are dust. No more trust, no more us. Robots took the 9 to 5. Now we fight just to survive. Burn it down, no control. We're the ghosts of the protocol. You break the chains, take it back. Crypto punks don't fade to black. Crypto anarchy. No power's fake, it's all a lie. No escape, they own the sky. Decentralized, not for long. Fuck the rules, we sing this song. Crypto anarchy. Crypto anarchy. Burn it down, no control. We're the ghosts of the protocol. You'll break the chains, take it back. Crypto punks don't fade to black. No more leaders, no more kings, no more wallets. Pull the strings, crypto's
the Crypto Otaku, bringing you the chaos and the news. How is it going, guys? Bear market? You say bear market? I don't know if we're back in a bear market yet. It's starting to feel like a calm before the storm, though. I'll tell you that. Some crazy stuff going on, especially. You know what? I totally feel like Bitcoin has done a due diligence in the height of all of the mantra FUD. Of course, you guys are probably not sleeping on that news as we covered it this morning, and of course, over the weekend, we were throwing that out there. All right, so what's going on? What's going on, guys? Crypto Jared in the house. How's it going? Go time. What is up? What is up, man? Control chaos. Yes, that's right. Control chaos. That is what I see. I hear you. I hear you. Go time says, "What's up, Otaku? What is up?" Matt Adam. Hey, Otaku. Good to catch the beginning of the stream. I've been missing the morning doomery between the west. Yeah, being on the West Coast. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know what? That's how it goes. Being on, yeah. I mean, I did wake up at like 6 a.m. to catch me. I think over there. Yeah, probably. What's up, Heidegger? How's it going? How's it going? Strawberry Dragon's also in the house, making dinner and watching the making the dooming dinner, the dinner doom with Otaku. Milk Money in the house. Also, I'm here strictly for the what? The chaos. That's right, the chaos. Shorting Doge and me right now, apparently, says will raise. Short Doge and me. For anyone paying attention to that particular project. So we got to shout out the alpha from Will Reese in the house. We can take a look at Doge and me too. I don't think we've ever even pulled that chart up on my show. Yeah, Doge and me, guys. For those who know. Okay, guys, let's clean up the get the dancing mascots out of here and get on with the stream. We've got a lot of metrics, of course, to go over. And yeah, look at this. Look exactly where we left off from this morning. Still kind of playing out a little bit lower than expected. We did fall off that bullish trend line here. So we are coming back down to hopefully not have to retest $84,000 Bitcoin, but yeah, we probably will. We're at 84.5 right now. The heat map, of course, guys, bringing you the heat map live for free is Kim by the White Snow Lion on YouTube. Don't pay for something
stupid.
You get for free, right? Don't do it.
What are you, stupid?
So I give you guys a free tool here, right? Of course, we're looking at the live heat map showing us the buy and the sell orders right now currently for Bitcoin. We have a lot of heat, of course, producing a new bottom at around 82, 84 is getting really strong, though. This level is getting really strong. It's actually the most heat we have, right? The most heat related to Bitcoin right now is a big buy zone right in around 84K. So that tells me it's going to be another strong level, of course, to bounce right off of and head back towards our range. We are really tight and range bound right now between 84K and 85K. It's like right there. It's literally right there. 85.5, I'd say. 85.5 is what, of course, the heat map is showing us tonight. So we're going to represent that on our cheat sheet right now on the chart. 85.5 is probably already on here too. 84K right there, of course, is going to be our bottom range for tonight. And yeah, we've already pretty much have 85 on there. I'm going to say we're pretty much range bound right in the dead center zone right now as we speak. Of course, we got to clean up this chart tonight too, guys. My God, it's such a mess. It's such a mess. And I'd say now we've invalidated our super bull target from last Monday. That's right. This is a week old, right? This played out for a week now. We can definitely kill this thing. Kill it with fire, as they say, right? I think we're done with this one because why? Tired of winning.
We're gonna win so much.
I'm so
you may even get tired of winning.
I'm tired of it.
Please. Too much winning. I can't take it anymore.
I can't take it, guys. I can't take it anymore. Of course, I'm referring to all of our scribbles on the charts that keep getting validated every single day, and I just want to be so wrong that it hurts. So wrong that it hurts. To the upside or the downside, I don't care. I'm tired of winning. All right. So we'll get back to this at the end of the stream, of course, with Bitcoin's live predictions for the evening. going into my Tuesday morning. Wow, we're already going into Tuesday morning, guys. Crazy. Days are just flying on by. If you guys are new to the chat, guys, I just sold my house. If you haven't heard yet, I sold my house. So the stream is going to change vastly. I'm going to be packing everything up this week. Yeah, we're going to try to do this as long as we can. I'm not sure it'll be the last thing I pack up, though. I'll tell you that. All right, moving on. Everything must go. Everything must go. Okay, so let's get into our metrics as we usually do every single night, guys. $36,725 billion. That's the U.S. national debt currently at the moment, with the world, of course, looking at over, negative, 100, close to 100, almost every single country. Of course, the Mag 7 or the the G7, right? The G8, whatever you want to call them. Of course, the largest countries in the world being, the most debt to GDP that we see represented here, which we know that basically all public spending is out of control. I don't know about you guys, but I got $15,000 in credit card debt. What's that one song from Peter Griffin? I got $30,000 of credit card debt. When the bank calls me, I tell them I can't pay it back yet. Credit card debt! Yes, exactly. That's what we have right here. All these countries are vastly in debt, in public debt to GDP. Okay, so moving on, back to the chat real quick. Yes, Milk Money, I am here strictly for the chaos. Yes, you are. And Danny, yo, what's in the house? Danny, of course, my favorite Vegeta is here. Will Raise, I think we break 85K in an hour. About that. Will Reese, you might be right on the money. You know why? Because you know who wakes up in about an hour? Japan. That's right. And Japan does not probably care about anything that's going on over here right now, other than they already got their recessionary fears out of the way, with at least the trade deals and the tariffs in America made with Japan. Looks bearish on Bitcoin. Maybe next leg over, says Heidegger. Oh, congrats on selling the house. Thank you, my guy. Thank you. More congrats from the chat than my real normie friends. That's right. Congratulations, says Matt Adam in the chat. Thank you. I'm new to crypto, but to put some into a meme coin, LOL. I'm sorry, Will. I'm sorry, but we'll catch you up to date. If you want to know anything, just let me know in the chat, and I'll try to help you as much as I possibly can. 2-hour drive back home. Be listening in the background, of course, Danny. Of course, I am very, very proud to be your commute listening media. That's insane. Congrats on the sale, McNerney. Thank you, McNerney. Thank you. It is done. Well, unless they back out. Fingers crossed. All right, moving on. Let's see what else we got. Of course, the Doge Live Tracker, still sitting around $150 billion in government savings. Still, that is 1/10 of $1 trillion. We need more than that. Quite a lot more than that. All right, moving on. We've got Poly Market, of course. Recessionary fears, of course, is the topic of tonight, as everyone is warning, the entire world is warning the U.S. government, of its potential recessionary measures that could be coming into play this year. If we do not scare, of course, the markets enough for Jerome Powell to print or something. I don't know. Something's got to give, man. Something's got to give. Of course, Polymarket predicting a 51% chance of a recession. Prime Minister of Canada still up to about 70%. The political figure we do not want in, of course, Mark Carney, and not Pierre Poilievre. Of course, the Bitcoin pro Prime Minister of Canada. We've got the Fed decision in May, still sitting around 82% as a no. Nothing has changed, of course, with the Fed cutting rates next month. I mean, there's no way they can't sit on it. There's no way. I mean, unless they really expect inflation to be, produced that much off the news of the tariffs in the past 2 weeks. That's insane that we destroyed the entire market in 2 weeks, guys. Let's go. All right, and that's pretty much it. Will Trump remove the 10% blanket tariff in April? And there's about an 8% chance of that. That's crazy. All right, and that's pretty much all the stuff that we're going to cover. It's related to our space right now on the Poly Market live betting. Okay, fear and greed for the stock market right now sitting at 19 in extreme fear. So we haven't got out of the woods yet for the stock market. They're still shaking in their little booties. And, of course, crypto fear and greed index getting closer and closer back to neutral. But, yeah, we're still getting closer and closer back to neutral, even after we refresh it on the live. Awesome. Sitting at 38, just barely back to 50% in neutral. All right. Moving on. The Dixie, guys. The Dixie. Let's refresh this as well. 99.64. The Dixie, of course, getting a new low for closing today. This is great to see, of course, if you guys are fighting the dollar right now like I am. Looks like it just came back up as I'm talking. 99.83, still a new low, I think, closing today. Look at this. On the month, we are dipping down. We're dipping down. Will the dollar come back and create a new cup and handle and bust out? Probably not. Probably not. Everyone's moving out of the treasury bonds. It used to be the flight to safety was going to treasury bonds. Get your, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, 30, 20% yield out of a treasury, 10-year treasury bond or whatever. It's not my game, man. Of course, we are looking for bigger and better things. Crypto bubbles today looking pretty green, overall pretty green in the aftermath, of course, of Mantra collapsing over the weekend and still not retaining anything higher than a negative 90% on the week. Yeah, this is pretty bad for this project. Of course, this was a very, very large real-world asset play, and it's starting to look like no one wants to play in it anymore. so yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll start to see this kind of ease off, fade into the background, and we'll be able to get some more momentum out of our other projects that actually have some utility. I did tell the live stream this morning I was thinking about buying up some of this because it's a huge potential opportunity to invest in this project right now, being down 90% on the week if it were to have a big pullback. But I've done a little bit more research since, of course, this morning, and it does not seem like that's probably going to be my rodeo. I think I'm better off just parking my dry powder into like the likes of Zbeck or some of the other darlings of the channel like Jasmine. Jasmine's still up 62% on the week. Crazy stuff. Of course, XCN also 122, maintaining gains over the last week. Of course, those are the two biggest ones in the top 100. Of course, two of my biggest bags here on the channel. I know you guys are feeling the same thing as well over, of course, being part of the Crypto Future community. Yeah, you guys know who you are. All right, so yeah, all in all, I think it's a pretty good day that we just worked our way around the negativity in our space. Okay, moving on. Enough of the mantra. Speaking of mantra, we're going to do some crypto chaos magic at the end of this. We're going to, of course, do our Crocpeos seance, our mantra for that as well. Market cap, Bitcoin dominance sitting still at 63%. What does Michael Saylor have, of course, to say about that?
This entire idea of like 60% dominance is bullshit, ridiculous, stupid, right?
It's 100% dominant. Yes, Saylor, it's 99.9. Anyway, of course, all the money in the world is now flocking to one coin right now, and of course, that's still the big daddy in the room. That is Bitcoin. We still have not seen a rollover yet, although it looks like it's getting stronger. Look at this. We are getting stronger, almost like we're going to create a hill and fall down, just like we did in when? Last bull run in 2021. That's right. About 4 years ago, we had, of course, a rollover into altcoin season. And I feel like we're getting tighter up here. And at some point, we are going to roll over into altcoin season. The big question is, are we going to do that before or after the countries start and nation states start buying in a big way? Again, we keep following all the mass adoption in the states. The individual states are all putting in, there's 47 or 41, I forget how many states right now with individual Bitcoin bills. And of course, we already had passed the first one last week, which was Arizona. Arizona is going to be the first state to acquire Bitcoin on the balance sheet for their state. And their constituents are going to, probably do well. Probably do well in their state, in the state of Arizona. And then, yeah, once we get the official buy-in for Bitcoin from the U.S. government, federal government, then, it's probably going to be starting off a huge gold rush for Bitcoin. So keep an eye out for that. Of course, we're going to be talking about it as it gets closer to big national adoption. Okay, crypto by market cap. Guys, our top 10 assets right now have changed, right? Our top 20 have definitely changed. Mantra's moved out. I was sitting at top 20, 30 projects in our space. But right now, the top 10 right now, still sitting around the same. Cardano's still holding number 10. Dogecoin at 9. Leo, for some reason, still holding on number 11. Avalanche is kicking back up as more and more investors are getting more and more targets into Avalanche. Avalanche is a great project, guys. I kind of regret selling my bag a little bit, but not really. I'm definitely going to be buying some more back in the bear market. Chainlink is sitting at number 13. Great project as well. I'm happy to see that there. Everything else, you know what? A ton coin could definitely keep coming down a little lower. I don't think it's getting as much use as it has been, trading volume. It is definitely falling along the wayside. It's actually one of the biggest movers down in the top 100 right now. Dai, other than of course Mantra, Dai's down a little bit too. Of course, I'm getting you guys a shout out for my favorite coin. That is Jasmine. Honorable mention to Jasmine, currently sitting at, look at this, 73 in market cap. That's crazy. Last time, guys, we were at 73 was around this time in 2024. We actually got as high in the market cap rankings as 52. So a bigger and better days are coming ahead for Jasmine in the near future. I love that. I love that thing, man. I love that thing. XCN is also up here too on the week. Okay, so also my favorite metric to go with you guys every single day. Of course, you know what this is, right? If you guys have watched me in any capacity, it is the Bitcoin allocations on exchanges. This is it, guys. All of the Bitcoin right now sitting on exchanges. This is not even what you can buy. This is just what is available on exchanges. Whether people are holding it there long term or not, this is what's on exchanges right now. Right now, there is currently a low amount of 2.19 million. Still right around those ranges. The lowest we've seen so far on record for Bitcoin in the last 4 or 5 years is 2.18 million, and that was just last week. So do not fade this metric, guys. When this goes, this is going to go crazy. People are going to start taking it off exchanges. You only buy. We're only mining about 400 Bitcoin a day now. So yeah, 450 a day. It is going to get wild and crazy in the later months to come in the year. All right, BitcoinTreasures.net. There is one thing that moved here today. MicroStrategy, of course, purchased more Bitcoin, putting them above 530,000 Bitcoin. That is the biggest thing moving on to the Bitcoin Treasures today. We also have, of course, iShares BlackRock's Bitcoin Trust sitting up closer, getting ever so closer to 600,000 Bitcoin under assets under management. Grayscale around 200, and of course, ARK shares at 50. Oh yeah, of course, Fidelity at 200 too. Between the big three guys, they're holding about 1 million Bitcoin. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. All right, moving on. More than 1 million. Bitcoin rainbow chart, of course, is flashing buy signals again today. Not even back to accumulation. That's between $101,000 Bitcoin and $138,000 Bitcoin. What does that tell you? That tells you that we're going to go into still cheap, which is between 138K and about 200K. By the time we get there, guys, we're still going to be cheap. It's absurd to even call it that, but that's, of course, what the Bitcoin rainbow price chart is telling you. And of course, it has been wrong a little bit, a little off. Of course, last bull run being invalidated a little bit because of the FTX sell-off and debacle, right? That's why I got my FTX fortune cookies from 2021. These are legendary. They're probably highly sought after. They're mine. And of course, your lucky number, of course, is 21 million this month, according to the FTX legendary fortune cookies from 2020. It's so stupid, guys. I know. I am deranged. Anyway, top 10 assets in our space right now.
What are you, stupid?
Yes, I'll take it. Top 10 assets in our space right now. Of course, Bitcoin's still sitting at number 8. From yesterday. Nothing's really changed there. Silver popping up, though. Look at this. Silver getting back up to about 1.8 trillion in market cap. Bitcoin still down from its all-time, what was it, $2.1 trillion market cap, around $109,000 Bitcoin. So yeah, we're coming through. We're coming to burn on through here and take out all these on top. All right, let's get into some of the news. Before I do that, let's check back into the chat. How are you guys feeling? Are you guys waiting for the calm of the storm to subside and just blow up like crazy? Because I do think that this month's going to be a green month. There's no way we're going to get another red month. There's just no way. The bottom is in. Every chart I show you guys all the time, the coins are all at the bottom. Everything's bottom. It doesn't even matter what the hell I click on. Everything's sitting at bottom. Everything's sitting at bottom in the last, within the last year to date, right? Year to date. Bottom. Doesn't matter what the hell I click on. This is Atom. This is Near. This is Doge. This is Graph. My God, Graph is making a new bottom. Almost. Sui. I mean, geez, Sui. He had a huge run up too, about $5, something like that. Yeah, it was crazy when we were following Sui last year. Of course, Jasmine, everything's at bottom. Everything's at bottom. Bottom. AVAX, $20. Are you kidding me? This coin almost had a run up to about $100 last year. I got up to as high as 65. It's so sad I didn't get to $100. This is so underwhelming for AVAX. Anyway, so what's going on with the chat tonight? How's it going? Congrats on the house. Yes, thank you. More dry powder. I don't know about that. Rob, how's it going, Rob? I just realized I'm reading everything backwards. I'm so chaotic, guys. I'm sorry. But yeah, yes, thank you. But then, we got, Danny says, 2-hour drive back home. Yes, I think I caught that one earlier. ACH jump today. ACH, yes. Take the show on the road, live from different locations. That's probably the plan, Milk Money. That's probably the plan. I just don't know how I'm going to do the format, guys, because I'm going to miss this. I'm gonna tell you, this is the only thing I'm gonna miss about my current situation. I'm gonna miss the studio. I'm gonna have to build a new studio somewhere, but I'm gonna miss this, right? All right. Hidegger says AVAX will definitely pump, but maybe less to grow than smaller caps. Well, we're going to get into some news about that. I think some people have a different approach. Jasmine is crushing it right now. I 100% agree with you, but we have a lot room for upside potential in the future. Strawberry Dragon says, Jasmine, yes, love the Jasmine. I love it. I can't get enough of it. The boss has graced us with his presence. That's right. The Rob has stole the show. What's up, Rob? Yeah, we will see him soon, for sure. Yes. All right. So let's get back into the news. Let's see what else we got covering today. I did have a little bit of the AVAX news. We did, as you mentioned, I did see that jump it in the headlines today. I think it's going to be coming up here in a bit. But of course, the big one today is the Mantra OM token as it crashed 90% amid insider sell-off allegations. This, of course, has pretty much taken our space onto the back seat today from the fallout over the weekend. Mantra, known for tokenizing real-world assets, as its partnerships from Google Cloud, Dubai's Damac Group saw its OM public plummet today from $6 to 37 cents in under 24 hours. The token, which peaked $9 earlier in 2025. Let me know in the chat if you guys hold any of this token. I still have not met a single person who has anything invested into this yet. Social media posts claim the team as an associated market maker. 90% circulating tokens through Mantra denies involvement. It's still the same sort of narrative right now. I don't think any other news is broken other than, of course, what I mentioned this morning, that they are looking into it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that's one of the steepest single-day drops sparked accusations of the market. Critics allege the team insider offloading tokens over the counter and deleting Mantra's Telegram group, severing investor communication. Social media erupted with fraud comparisons to exactly what I was talking about this morning. What I remember getting screwed out of $200 from 2021. Terra Luna's 2022 collapse. That's right. 2022, 2021, Man, memory's foggy. I just remember I lost $250. It was a lot of money for me back in 2021. That's a different story these days. All right, Mantra X account blamed reckless liquidations by external actors and promising forthcoming details. Mantra community, we want to assure you that Mantra is fundamentally strong. This is what, of course, they came out with today. Today's activity was triggered by reckless liquidations. That's what the team said. Not anything to do with the project. The team stated one thing that wanted to be clear was not our team. We're looking into it. We'll share more details about what happened soon as we can. All right, so big takeaway from this that I at least did all research today. This was a almost $6 billion project, total market cap, right? And so it got liquidated down from a 90% from that top down to about 1.3 billion. I mean, any billionaires out there that just want to play some whale games, they could definitely do that. And this was a really good project to do it with. So I decided ultimately not to risk it for the biscuit, because even with $1,000, that's what I was talking. I was like, I could probably move $1,000 into this thing. Maybe make like an 8K. I mean, a 10x or an 8x or 10x by the just a quick little swing trade off it. But I don't know. I'm just not gonna play in that backyard. Anyway, moving on. That was the big one today. Let me know in the chat, how you guys feel about it. Does it affect you in any way? I hope not. If not, then God bless. All right. Bitcoin faces cloud resistance at 85K, neutralizes risk rollover for bears. Ondo surges 4% after Mantra crash. I kind of saw that one coming. I mean, that of course being the biggest real-world asset play in the world right now that everyone's looking at. Refinance founder gets dragged into Mantra meltdown drama. Everyone's it's taken over the entire space, guys. It's kind of boring. I want to say it's not as chaotic as I'd like it to be today. Just a coin that no one's invested into is going to the floor. Bybit CEO challenges student advertisement accusation. I don't care about it. This is mostly just BS articles out there today. U.S. government investigates cryptocurrency bank Anchorage, which BlackRock cooperated with just last week. Here's everything you need to know. Yeah. I don't care about their dirty laundry. All right, moving on. Let's see what we got. CryptoNewsland.com bringing you render eyes burlesque out. Here we go again, guys. You know it's a boring day when every single article is literally hopium. XRP struggles at 2.2. FUD. Which crypto has 1,000x potential? Hopium. I mean, literally every single thing. Solana technical structure mirrors past 60% rallies. Hopium. Yeah, there's not a single headline here that I want to read. It's nothing, guys. Nothing. Today is a nothing burger. Bitcoin overs. Yeah, why did I even click on that? Chinese fraud ring jailed for $6.2 million scam targeting 66,000 Indian victims. What a weird headline. I don't. Bybit denies $1.4 million listing fee. Homeland Security launches investigation in Anchorage. There we go. BlackRock's them. Bitcoin's ETFs outflows soar 300% amid escalating U.S. trade tensions. I think we covered that last week. Maybe it's gotten a little more than that, but again, that's more of a FUD article. The stuff we already know too. It's nothing new. Mantra price. Yeah. All right, we're moving out of that too. Look, this is gonna be quick news, or at least legacy news today. Of course, the big one today as well. Michael Saylor, we covered this morning. Purchased another bag of Bitcoin today, as they normally do every single week. Right now, putting off about every other week. So, of course, they're staging their buys right now. And I think it was a little less than $1 billion. I think it was like 300 million, 400 million, something like that. There might be a pullback that they're estimating may come in the future for Bitcoin. Let's dive into this real quick. Strategy co-founder, of course, Michael Saylor has signaled that the company plans to acquire more Bitcoin, even more Bitcoin. Never stop with Bitcoin. Why? Because it's going up forever, Laura.
The point is, if you have the superior asset, it's going up forever, Laura. Forever.
Right.
Forever. It's so easy. It's right there. And God knows. Godzilla knows it. Jeez. All right. So according to Saylor Strategies, Bitcoin investment is up by approximately 24%, representing over $8.6 billion in unrealized gains. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually considering buying some MicroStrategy stock. Now, hear me out. I think that so I've been doing more research into their new MSTY, right? Their yield-based product, basically yielding dividends for a high-risk play. We might spend some more time on that, but I don't want to spend too much. I'm looking into it. I'm thinking it might be a good place to go if you guys are looking for some income. Take a look at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Strategy continues to accumulate Bitcoin amid a recent market downturn that took Bitcoin's price below 80,000 level, and the company continues to be closely monitored by the Bitcoin investor as the barometer for institutional interest in Bitcoin. Of course, everyone follows Saylor for Bitcoin news now. Bitcoin's store of value narrative grows despite the recent price decline. The current macroeconomic uncertainty for the ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China has negatively impacted risk on assets across the board. Stock markets wiped away trillions in shareholder value. Well, if you held Bitcoin for 4 years, you're not feeling any heat at all. Nothing matters when you hold Bitcoin for at least a 4-year cycle. Sweeping tariff, the crypto markets are also experiencing a deep sell-off. Data from Total 3 has indicated that tracks the market capitalization of the entire crypto sector, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, shows that altcoins have collectively shed over 33% of their value since the market peak in 2024. I did want to show you guys a metric of this, actually. I was actually a little shocked after the quarter ended, where we actually landed with Bitcoin over that period, which would tell me that bull season's on, man. Bull season's on, because we've basically had about half of the original previous halving decline that we had back in 2021. So let me see if I can find that. I think it was CoinGlass. I might have to. I thought I saved it somewhere on here. Bitcoin Power Law. No. Of course I'm looking for monthly appreciation. Rates of Bitcoin. We'll just do that. Oh, just do there it is. Bitcoin's his past history and performance. Look at this, guys. Quarter 1 of 2025. Oh, never mind. It's only down about 11.5%. Not that big of a deal. That is a dip for ants, guys. A dip for ants. But this one here, I want to, of course, bring up 45% down for Ethereum from the first quarter. Ridiculous. Look at this, though. We had, of course, and this is why I went back to back here in 2017. I pulled this up last time. I just want to, while I have it up, I might as well regurgitate it again. But basically, the idea is that in 2017, when we had a similar kind of thing going on with Trump as we have right now with the tariffs, in 2017 we had a pretty slow, relatively, boring first quarter, and then the second quarter blew up like crazy, 100% between April and June. So the next quarter is looking to be a little bit more explosive for Bitcoin if we do look at 2017 for advice, right? It doesn't often repeat, but it does tend to rhyme, and it looks like, we only had one up month so far in the year. We need some more. We need some more action. And I still believe, too, that this may not be a sell and may go away event like we've seen in the past, where we get less of a appreciation rate for Bitcoin, as we saw. Look at this, 2017, a 50% increase of Bitcoin in the month of May. So same thing with 2019, too, which is kind of an outlier. I'm not sure why that happened. But yeah, we will probably see more along the lines of something like it happened in 2017, in my opinion, just because we've had such a huge sell-off and lack of performance at the beginning of this year. And everyone is going to get tired of it. I'm just so tired of it. So tired of winning, that is. All right, moving on. Let's get back in the chat real quick and then see what else we got to cover tonight. Jasmine's crushing it right now, 100%. Milk Money says the boss is gracious with his presence. Yes, when Rob popped in. Yes. Can't say I do. Of course, with mantra saying Mad Adam. I haven't had any mantra as well, says Heidegger. I thought of picking up some too and decided, well, probably not. It's going to be dead. Probably going to be a dead coin. More than likely, or it's going to probably take a couple years to rebound from that. That's a huge loss in trust for investors. 100%. All right. Let's see. Did we finish this up with Sailor today? Price of Bitcoin remained inevitably stable. $5 trillion sell-off in the stock market. Yeah. I mean, this is 100% what I'm talking about. Like, Bitcoin has done very, very well amidst everything that's been going on with the stock market. We didn't see the entire space get liquidated down to nothing when $5 trillion left the stock market, did we? No. New rising asset class? No. Why didn't we get the most risky thing? If it was so risky, why didn't it sell off? No, we didn't see it. We didn't see it happen. Exactly. That's right.
What are you, stupid?
That's why I tell everyone it's a good place to park some cash. Forecasted inflation to surge 10 to 15% for the next decade, making real investment returns of traditional asset classes such as stock and real estate incredibly difficult for market participants. I'm surprised I sold my freaking house in the midst of this. I thought people were going to not be stupid, right?
Stupid?
And wait for a Fed rate cut like we were going to be expecting in May or June. Weird times, guys. There is a real prospect of Bitcoin competing with gold and then starting to take some of the gold use cases. Beck. Okay, we're probably talking about Adam Beck. Probably. I am. We missed that somehow. He told Cointelegraph managing editor Gareth Jenkinson. All right, we're done with that. We're done with that one. All right. Okay, moving on. What else we got today? Ray Dalio warns of the biggest or the bigger than recession economic crisis looming. Of course, Ray Dalio being the $1 billion asset manager. Ray Dalio. Cautioned the U.S. on the brink of recession with a deeper economic crisis incoming unless carefully managed. Speaking Sunday on NBC, the founder of Bridgewater Advocates, one of the most largest world's hedge fund managers, expressed concern over President Trump's tariff policies, escalating U.S. debt, and breakdown of the post-World War II global order. And I'm still calling it World War Trade, not World War III. Similar, World War Trade. That's what it is. Okay, so Dalio accurately predicted the 2008 financial crisis and now believes the world is experiencing a rare collapse in key monetary, political, and geopolitical systems. This sort of breakdown occurs only about once in a lifetime. Of course, that's one of the best times to make some money, guys, when there's blood in the streets. Let's go. Oh, my God.
I'd buy that for $1.
Happened many times in history with similar unsustainable conditions were in place, he said. I think that right now we're in the decision-making point and very close to recession, Dalio stated, and I'm worried about something worse than a recession than this if this is not handled well. Of course, I talked about this morning as well. I just wanted a quick little recap for you guys, as it is one of the biggest market trends right now in terms of news. And I also shared with you guys, too, this morning, Kathy Wood's, realization against the debt to GDP right now with the public sector and matching World War II's debt to GDP. It was insane, guys. I mean, for us to be on that level of public debt is insane. Absolutely insane. Repossessions are going to explode. All right. But I'm not going to have anything to repossess because I ain't going to own nothing. And I'll be happy, I guess. That's what they want anyway, I guess. All right, moving on. Shibarium devs launch builder group Shib and Bone to rebound? Probably not. But they do have that project I keep talking about, Astronova. They're partnering up with a gaming platform that's coming out in the summertime, I believe, like June, July. What else we got? XRP prices soar on Swift announcement. We can take a look at that. That sounds something like it's down our pipeline. Of course, with the Swift ecosystem, we just talked about this 2 weeks ago. Preceding a major announcement. The upcoming week offers two key events for Ripple XRP as the cross-border altcoin continues to expand its utility list in a major way. Swift, the financial behemoth, is set to make an announcement on April 21st. Mark it in your calendar, guys. April 21st, 2025. I think I got a house showing that day or something. I don't remember. Which could touch upon the topic of XRP ledger testing to make the Swift transactions instantaneous rather than the 3 to 4 business days as it currently is, because the Swift system is ancient. Dating back to the 60s and 70s. The financial conglomerate Swift is also known over 11,000 financial institutions around the globe, standing for the Society of Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications. Swift. The XRP integration would open the doors to a $150 trillion market for the OG altcoin. That's not market cap. Just the market. Just money being pushed through it, I guess. Volume. According to Asia DiCaprio, the head of industry engagement at Swift, most merchants are expecting to see transactions settled in less than an hour by 2027. Besides, that's less than an hour? Come on! We have the technology now to do it in a freaking minute. Besides Ripple, the parent company of XRP token had participated in the compatibility testing programs with Swift in 2023. Right, we got John Squire here from the Crypto Squire. April 16th, 2021 could be the most important dates for XRP's history, bringing it, of course, to the real news platform on X. And I am not saying this for hype. I'm saying this because of context, data, and narrative that has been building for years. Let's start with April 16th. This is the deadline for XRP's Ripple Summit for its final response to the SEC after more than 3 years after the legal battle. This document could mark the end of the case, or at least the beginning of the final chapter, a lawsuit that hasn't ever just slowed XRP's growth in the U.S., but has shaped the entire regulatory conversation in crypto worldwide. If Ripple wins, and many signs suggest that it is a strong case, XRP would be free to operate legally and openly in the largest financial market in the world. That wouldn't just be a legal win, it would be a global signal. XRP is no longer a chased crypto, but a legally backed digital asset. On April 21st, in recent weeks, several influential voices have pointed to the possibility of announcements coming from Swift. It could be the official confirmation that the XRP through Ripple would be part of Swift's global payment infrastructure used by 11,000 financial institutions worldwide. 2023, Ripple already participated in the interoperability pilot programs led by Swift. More recently, Swift published a recent report discussing the integration of the distributed ledger technology, DLT. Ripple wants on the list, and XRP was part of their conversation. So it's just a coincidence that both dates are so close? I don't think so. They may be more than carefully coordinated strategy to be close one chapter and open another. From outlawed to essential, from the restricted asset to global infrastructure. Man, this is a freaking novel, guys. From troubled crypto to liquidity backbone. If the lawsuit ends in the 16th and Swift confirms the integration on the 21st, XRP's narrative shifts from a defensive to fully offensive, from survival to dominance. I feel like that's a little too, it is a little too coincidental, though. I think it is. I think they're going to have a little bit more legal paperwork in between to hash that one out. But, you never know. You never know. They could be working on this again for years. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. Rumors don't always materialize, but if you have been in the space long enough, you know the biggest waves form long before they break. Exactly what I'm talking about. And this feels like one building right in front of us. This is not financial advice. It's just an opinion based on facts, according to John Squire, the Crypto Squire. All right. So big stuff coming for XRP. Finally, we get some real news with XRP. So big 2 events. Put those dates in your calendars, guys. Put them in your calendars, especially if you're big XRP holders right now. Vitalik Buterin says, rise of AI means need for crypto privacy can no longer be ignored. We know it can't be. There's so many reasons why. I don't think we need to read that article. Macro guru Luke Grauman sees Bitcoin benefiting from gold ascending as new settlement asset. Maybe. Well, yeah. I mean, risk on. I mean, they're both great assets. Just, Bitcoin's just a little better. Just a little better. Persistent negative sentiment causes 795 million from institutional outflows from crypto products. Coin shares covers this one. What else? I got anything that's worth? Of course, we got Robert Kiyosaki. Guys, he predicted the everything crash that we have witnessed the last 3 months. He has said today, please listen to gold and silver and Bitcoin. Just reminding everyone again to be purchasing the big three. The big three. Kiyosaki says the giant crash he warned about in several of his books has arrived. That's right. We've been covering it for like 6 months. And the precious metals will be the only hedge. The corrupt and crooked U.S. dollar is being wiped out. Sabers of stocks, bonds, exchange-traded ETFs, mutual funds are being wiped out. Their wealth is being stolen by a sinister global banking cartel known as the central banks, led by the Bank of International Settlements, Bank of England, Bank of Japan, the European Central Bank, and then of course, the U.S. known as the Fed. That's right. They are stealing money from all of us by the printing of the U.S. dollar. Or any fiat, pretty much. I mean, it all, of course, attributes to the global monetary supply. Aren't you fed up with the Fed? Says Robert Kiyosaki. Please take care. It's not too late. For those who take action to acquire real gold, silver, and Bitcoin may come out of this mediated disaster alive. The new rich and the new leaders of the world. What are you going to do? Go back to college, get another degree, get it deeper in debt, with more student loans, learn nothing about money, and much less learn nothing about the real world of money. Have you guys ever read his book before? I have. It's a great book, great read. Of course, outlining the difference between his rich dad and his poor dad in the book. Of course, having a split family. Going back to all this stuff he's been saying over the last 2 years. We've been covering it. Crazy how on point he has been, and a few others as well. At the time of writing, Bitcoin is trading at 84,393. Gold is just off at another high, while the silver is still 35% below its 2011 all-time high of $50 bill. All right, guys. So speaking of which, where is Bitcoin right now? It's looking like it wants to retest 85K here soon, as the market has opened in Japan. We are ready to go. Japan wants to buy up our dip. Buy the dip. All right. Let's get back to the news real quick. And of course, we're going to cover the real news here in a bit and get into our predictions for the tonight live stream market open for tomorrow. The Banker Revolution. Yes, an excerpt from Satoshi Baker's The Banker Revolution. That's an interesting one there. We might have time for that. Let's see. Yeah, maybe. Bull Bitcoin, the Cypherpunk Bitcoin Exchange. What else we got on here? Any other big headliners? Metaplanet buys an additional $3.8 billion of yen, whatever that is in American dollars, I don't know, worth of Bitcoin. Of course, the Michael Saylor play of Japan, the Bitcoin Hotel of Japan, Metaplanet. So we could touch base on that, but we pretty much read it. You know, you guys got it from the headline. Any other real news today? I think that might be it. An excerpt from Satoshi Papers, The Banker Revolution. The excerpt from the introduction of Satoshi Papers traces how to consolidation of money, law, and state power in the 20th century America eroded liberty and reshaped the global financial order. Of course, Bitcoin being created off the back of 2008, the great financial crisis, the one we're kind of mimicking right now. Oh, man. Okay, so in the United States, the 20th century began with a centralization of power to replace its key elements of the tradition of the American liberty with a new interpretation of federal authority. Participants in the 1910 Jekyll Island Conference. If you guys haven't read The Creature from Jekyll Island, I encourage you to do that as well. Another great book. Man, there's a lot of books you guys are going to read now. I'm sorry. Sovereign individual. I mean, anyway, which established the Federal Reserve Act and the U.S. Central Bank. The Fed was given the dual mandate of keep inflation low and employment high, and the main tools it had, of course, was only one tool. It's basically two tools. You know, fluctuate with the interest rates, or you print more money to combat the maybe combat inflation with high interest rates, and of course combat high inflation rates with interest rates with money. It's pretty much just that's the only tool they have. They have two tools. It's money printing and interest rates. The Fed was given the dual mandate of keeping inflation low and employment high, and the main tools it had at its disposal were to control the money supply and to control the price of money via the federal funds rate. Before long, the Fed has put to the test what was an unprecedented financial crisis in 1929, metastasized I can't even say that one tonight, guys, into the economic crisis we call the Great Depression. That's right, the Great Depression. The Fed neither prevented nor ameliorated either crisis, intervene in either crisis, but the conclusion many economists and political leaders drew from this was that the state needed to exert more control over the American economic way of life. The subsequent authoritarian turn into the United States mirrored the trajectories of the other countries. When the U.S. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR, issued the Executive Order 6102, you guys know which one I'm talking about, right? In 1933, which ordered everyone living in the United States to surrender their gold to the U.S. Treasury and suspend the redeemability of the U.S. dollars for gold. Alas, the final nail in the coffin. He was engaging in asset confiscations and mirrored those executed by other authoritarian leaders in the same era, including Winston Churchill, Joseph Stalin, Benito Mussolini, and Adolf freaking Hitler. During the First and Second World Wars, countries allied with the United States purchasing the American-made weapons with gold. This led to the U.S. to amass the world's largest gold stockpile, and as the Second World War drew closer, allied nations met Bretton Woods, New Hampshire, to determine the outlines of the post-war international monetary order. Of course, the Jekyll Island incident. They decided to establish the U.S. dollar, once again redeemable for gold, as the global reserve currency. And the same conference was also resulted in the foundation of the International Monetary Fund and World Bank. Multinational lending institutions whose mandate was ostensibly, I can't say that one tonight either, guys, to facilitate and balance the trade between nations and promoting international development, but whose mixed legacy was included in the ensnaring of dozens of poor countries in webs of inescapable debt peonage. Jesus, the vocabulary on this is insane. Meanwhile, who wrote this damn thing?
Are you stupid?
I'm sorry, I can't read big words tonight. Meanwhile, in the United States, the post-war military-industrial complex emerged that ensured both of the normalization of the wartime posture in peacetime, GDP-enhancing arms dealing to the Allies and others, routinization, making it routinely available of the war and its central pillar of the American anti-communist foreign policy, beginning with the Korean War and continuing in Vietnam, Laos, Lebanon, Cambodia, Grenada, and Libya, Panama and other countries as well, not to mention the countless clandestine operations of proxy wars that occurred during the time. Had to fund it somehow. Man, this guy is going into a ramble. The imperative led Nixon's administration to suspend the redeemability of dollars yet again in 1971 and years later to strike the informal agreement with the government of Saudi Arabia to denominate all purchases in the dollar and recycle those dollars back into the United States economy. This petrodollar agreement, which is now gone, guys, BRICS has eliminated that. It's been 2 years already. I think 2.5 years ago. Although no one's talking about that. Although it had the characteristics of a treaty, was concluded entirely in secret, but executive branch in part to bypass the constitutional requirement that the Congress approve all treaties in which the United States enters. The petrodollar system, as I said, is now non-existent. It is now itself unraveling. The major oil producers around the world have begun pricing their oil and other currencies. That is predictable international response to the U.S. foreign policy since that of the Cold War, which has insisted an unipolar American dominance of the conduct of international trade and military operations. The terrorist attack of September 11, 2001, in particular, became the pretext of the United States to declare an open-ended war on terror and spend trillions of dollars on foreign wars to remilitarize its or fragment countries around the world otherwise had been on trajectories around greater stability, and most consequently to formalize military and U.S. homeland via the establishment of new military command, U.S. Northcom, and new executive department, the Department of Homeland Security. The militarization of Homeland, anathema, and the founders of the United States have been has unthralled, snuffling out of the last vestiges of the citizens of the right to privacy in the name of counterterrorism via the AML KYC of everything. That's right. That's why you guys go to all these new exchanges and you got a KYC. Everything. You got to know every single person on earth. Of course, know your customer. The roots of the development extend to the 1970s, long before the War on Terror. Indeed, the 1970s can be seen as a decade in which the banker revolution came into full maturity and the American experiment in liberty truly unraveled. The Bank Secrecy Act kicked off because a decade with the passage of Congress in 1970. It required the U.S.-based financial institutions to keep records of all financial transactions that have a high degree of usefulness in criminal, tax, regulatory investigations or proceedings, as interpreted by the U.S. Treasury, and to share those records with law enforcement agency upon request. Likewise, financial institutions had to report the transfer of any amount over $5,000 into or out of the United States. The Treasury subsequently promulgated a rule under the legislation that all domestic transactions over $10,000 had to be reported. That reported threshold had remained unchanged until present day, despite the fact that even under conservative estimates, the U.S. dollar had lost nearly 90% of its purchasing power. I repeat, 90% of its freaking purchasing power since the 1970s. Since your parents, more than likely, you guys are around my age, in your 30s, right? Your parents, since your parents, were alive, have witnessed a 90% loss of purchasing power. The Bank Secrecy, guys, I remember in the late 80s, early 90s, a freaking candy bar was 50 cents. What is it now? What the hell is it now? It's like $2? Ridiculous. A Bank Secrecy Act representing an unprecedented erosion of the Constitution's Fourth Amendment protections against warrantless search or seizure. Although it was challenged, the Supreme Court upheld the United States versus Miller 1976 was established in a third-party doctrine that Americans have no reasonable expectations of constitutional protections for records held by third party. The ruling surprised the Financial Party, acted 2 years later, 1978. However, the act carved out 20 substantial exceptions to the right of federal financial privacy, which ended up weakening privacy protections even further. In the same year, Congress has passed the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, which stated purpose was curtailing illegal surveillance practices by federal intelligence and law enforcement agencies in the wake of abuses of Nixon administration. However, the FISA perpetrated to achieve this by establishing a kangaroo court, the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court, FISC, a secret court that issued classified warrants for virtually any surveillance activity requested by the state. You see where we're going with this, guys? You know where we're heading into? You know where we're going with this? I love this article. I was not expecting this, but I'm kind of a little bit of a history buff myself. But you know where we're going? You know where we're going, guys. Do I know where we're going? We're going into the dystopian future. That's right, of course, guys. We are in 2025. We are getting ever so closer to all of your rights being taken away. Of course, all the robots taking all the jobs and replacing you at home. I mean, most of us are already staying at home. Social Security rampant. Everyone's staying home for disability and all the likes of that. So many people in the United States are obese and can't even afford to work because of medical bills and everything else. Guys, it's happening right now. You just don't even know it yet. AI's coming for your job. That's right. If you're a telemarketer, a lawyer, a data entry clerk, a clown, an accountant, robots have probably already taken your job in some way already. A writer, a journalist, a bookkeeper, a receptionist, a bank teller, a travel agent, a factory worker, a customer service representative, all kinds. That's all kinds, all being replaced. Already have been replaced. You can't even call most stores anymore. You get a robot. You get an AI. All right, on the phone. Fast food workers, of course, being replaced by screens. You guys walk into my McDonald's. Oh, I don't work there anymore, but when I used to work at McDonald's, it was a truck stop. So you just literally walk in there, and there's like 4 screens, and no one's ever at the counter. We never go to the counter. Everyone refuses to go to the counter. It's just, not a thing. Sometimes I help the old people. I like the old people. But yeah, they're guys, we're being replaced one by one. So factory workers, fast food workers, your friends, especially your romantic loved ones, are not exempt of this, right? They're not exempt for this. They're going to be replaced. And of course, the ones in the bedroom as well. That's right. The robots can do all the things in the bedroom. They're coming, guys. They're coming. So stay vigilant, stay safe, and protect yourself and be useful. That's what you got to do. You just got to be useful, guys. That's it. All right, so where does that take us back to? We're back to the Bank Secrecy Act of 1970 versus the United States versus Miller, 1976. The Right of the Financial Privacy Act in 1978, the FISA, 1978, were the seeds of the full financial surveillance system of the government we have today. Let's skip through. I didn't know this was going to take this long, guys. I love it, but I don't want to bore most of you guys. They have also given the rise to a minimum 8 additional federal laws. This is, of course, catching us up to about 1986. The Money Laundering Control Act, the Anti-Drug Abuse Act in 1988, and the Wiley Anti-Money Laundering Act. I'm not familiar with that one at all. The Money Laundering Suppression Act in 1994, and of course, we just keep going more and more and more and more and more. So again, down the line, we have gotten pretty much to the point where we have controlled everything down to just this printed piece of shit. You have no rights. You can't really go outside. You think you have rights. It's an illusion. But you know what? We have the ability to basically search and seize anything we want here in the United States. Which includes the infamous, of course, the amendments, surveillance court, the Attorney General, leading up to the U.S. Treasury Office of the Intelligence and Analysis of 2004. Financial Action Task Force. Okay. In short, which... Within a generation, the U.S. banking system, which had been centralized at the beginning of the 20th century, became an extension of policing the function of the state. Exactly what I'm referring to here. The revolving door between Wall Street, the Federal Reserve, and the Treasury, the unlimited money printer, a career circuit in which elites cycle between appointments at these 3 institutions has only been accelerated by the flywheel of collusion between the 3 who enforce the laws and those who control the money. This has ensured that the machine first built by the banker revolution and bolstered the petrodollar system keeps running well for elites via unofficial coordination and official bailouts. That's right. They can print unlimited money. They can bail out all their friends and their buddies. It does not matter. The actions taken by the nation states worldwide following the 2008, there we go. We finally made it. Financial crisis. Did not right any of these wrongs. Bankers were bailed out virtually in all countries, save any outliers like Iceland. They were bailed out again, along with much of the industry in 2020 during the COVID-19 pandemic in the U.S. These bailouts get sanctioned, reviewed, funded through zero debate omnibus bills endorsed by leaders of both political parties. Of course, just written on in a lot of these bills too, and no one even knows in the public what the hell a 3,000, 5,000 page document has for the rest of the world to deal with. In the end of it, man, we're suffering because of their actions. But the 1970s did not just merge banks with the state. The usher in the end of financial. Oh my God, guys, this is a lot more longer than I thought. This would take me all night. Holy crap! All right, I'm gonna have to cut it here. But yeah, this is incredible. This is incredible stuff. I really like this a lot. And this, apparently, I think this is just an excerpt from the Satoshi Papers. Looks like Lynn Alden has actually reviewed this. Wow. And Lynn Alden reviewed this. She said to review the epic essays that Natalie put together. They're not the book I'd hand it to someone randomly first about Bitcoin. Instead, they're the book I'd hand them second. And for me, that's huge. Maybe that's why I was so fascinated by everything I was reading here. Of course, I'm just so enthralled by just how we got here. I love the history around it, even though I hate the aftermath and the world we're living in. It's great to understand how we got here, so you guys can protect yourself in the future, of course, with digital assets like Bitcoin. All right, so before we get into the next thing, which I think is the real news. Yes, it's the real news. Over on Twitter, I'm gonna catch up with the chat as I have been just rambling on about how the world's so effed up, especially in our country here in the United States, for the past 20 minutes, 15 minutes. All right, so let's see what we got in the chat here. Checking out Otaku. Go time. Yes, strong. Gamma Goddess in the house. What's going on? Go time just overall here with the Diamond Hands until the end of the month when we get paid. Yes, when you get paid. Hodling the line. Yes, yes. Gamma Goddess says, yes, Otaku, too cool. I like the balance between Channel and Rob. It's the perfect combination for all the knowledge we need. I love that perspective you got there, Gamma. That's awesome. Agree. Says Go Time. Milk Money says payday on the 21st, waiting patiently. Also, we also are saints with this level of patience. That's right. That's how we make it in the space, guys. That's why I always say, you hold Bitcoin for at least 4 years. You're not sitting on the sidelines, right? You're not sitting on the sidelines with one of those unhappy faces like this guy here. You are very, very happy with your position. All right. What else we got here? Milk Money says 25 paid on the 23rd. Yeah, patience is victory. Tola says machines don't eat or rest or steal and don't get mad with the customers. Yep, sounds about right. Milk Money says our victory will be glorious. Teamwork makes our dream work, and this community is awesome. Helps me feel like we have an edge in this crazy, chaotic crypto space. 100%, man. And of course, we're gonna be
make myself zillions of bucks. That's enough money to buy my own country or my own planet, even.
Yeah, we're gonna be rich. We're pretty rich right now. Satoshi Papers worth carefully reading for sure. Thank you, Dagger. I agree, 100%. I'm probably gonna have to spend a long time reading through that one. Amazing coins for you says, what's going on, everyone? How's it going? Welcome. And of course, what am I welcoming to? The Crypto Otaku Show. Yes, that's right. If you guys are watching tonight and you like what you see here, please like, subscribe, do all the things down below as we're trying to keep the channel going strong. We are getting closer and closer to our 1,000 goal target. Just over 500 right now. Please like, share, do all the things. Thank you. And of course, I'm going to share with you tonight the real news over on Twitter. We're going to do a speed run of this real quick and see what I've got to share with you. Let's go. Quarterly Bitcoin holdings, of course. Corporations that bought Bitcoin over the 95,000 Bitcoin in the first quarter of the year. The highest accumulation of Bitcoin ever. Buckle up, guys. It's going to be a crazy ride, according to the Bitcoin historian. Smudge the insult cat says, my tariffs aren't working. Well, have you tried turning them on and off again? Of course, with the IT. There. I love it. That was a great show, too, back in the day. Okay. Nothing is going to stop this train. Choo-choo, says Charles B. Munger. Of course, referring to the Chinese monetary supply. Printing, of course, to oblivion. Print that baby, print. Bitcoin Magazine says, new Bitcoin has significantly outperformed the S&P 500 over the past 14 years. Yeah, with this year being the first year so far. Second year so far? Yeah, second year so far. I take it back. the second year so far that gold has outperformed Bitcoin. You got to call it where it is. But it's never outperformed, of course. The S&P 500 has never outperformed anything. Since 9 years ago? Yeah, 11 years ago. S&P 500 had outperformed gold. Up until then, no. All right, what else we got to show with you guys tonight? Breaking Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says that Trump admin is considering a successor for federal Jerome Powell's replacement, right? And will begin interviewing candidates this fall. Is it happening? He technically can't do it, but they're trying to push some new legislation to possibly get it passed to eliminate, of course, Jerome Powell. I hold the cards, says Trump. No, the cards are made in China, says Xi Jinping. We got a lot of fun stuff with that tonight, too. All the stuff made in China. Strategy buys 3,459 more Bitcoin. Now holds 531,000 Bitcoin. Nothing stops the sailor, of course, sailing his ship upward towards the orange sunset. Made in China MAGA merch is getting hit by Trump tariffs. That's right. The Chinese factory is working hard to make America great again. This is so funny. This, of course, coming out from the Tennessee Holler.
Now it's a Trump banner. I know that he's the U.S. president. Every day we must produce over 1,000 of this. We already made so many batches of them.
The banners highlight a paradox in China-U.S. relations under the current Trump administration. At about $1 a piece, even the suppliers to the Trump campaign can't resist the low price. Style products will be subject to a 10% levy. One seller said that would be enough to double the price of a Make America Great Again hat.
Damn! So yeah, Make America Great Again, but also cost twice as much. The stock market crash, and yeah, it's just a big monster staring you in the face in the room. And then, yeah, of course, people living paycheck to paycheck, they don't even know. I keep saying this all the time. Wall Street Maeve, you are 100% correct. They do not know. The normies do not know what's happening. Anyone that's not talking about any of your normie friends right now, please let me know. Because, yeah, let me know in the chat how they are feeling. Because I can tell you, all my normie friends, they have no idea what's coming. They don't even know what's here. Facing them dead in the face right now. Just in, Sailor posted the Bitcoin tracker. Of course, this was last night, putting in those orange dots for us all to see. What's going on with your crypto strategy, guys? You know what our crypto strategy is. Look, he's got a similar strategy. Look at this. You gotta burn some of that money. Yeah, you gotta just spread the incense of that money. And then Crypt Mike shared this, but actually, Milk Money sent me this about an hour or two ago. I died laughing. 82,000. No, don't do it. Of course, free falling from 85K. Running all the way up to 109, and of course where we are back now down to 78K just a few weeks ago. And Elmo just sacrificed himself for the greater good. And then of course Bitcoin just probably went right back up right after that. Anyway, NVIDIA to manufacture American-made AI supercomputers in a U.S. for the first time. This was a big topic today, this morning when we did our Market Open live stream. But it's supercomputers. How many of them are they really making for the entire world or the entire country? I mean, there aren't that many. I mean, at most 10,000? I can't even fathom the need for any more than that. And of course, the mass expense that incurs in creating one. Also, we have the Bitcoin historian sharing just in McDonald's. Damn it. McDonald's rejects the shareholder proposal to add Bitcoin to the treasury. That's right, they had a voting. I didn't even know about this. Apparently they did. And this will go down as a historic mistake for the McDonald's. Withdraw your Bitcoin from exchanges. Last warning, says the Illuminati bot. Of course, warning everyone too. Cold custody your crypto assets. Just in, of course, Milei. Javier Milei, Argentina's president Javier Milei, says he's ready to sign a new trade deal with the U.S. Another one in the books. And then we are back full circle to our live stream this morning. If you guys didn't catch the live stream this morning, guys, we're live streaming now every day when the market opens, sifting through all the chaos that is happening right in front of your eyes. It was fun, man. It's really fun. But today was kind of boring. We'll see where we land tomorrow morning. All right, guys. All right, let's get into the normies. Check back with the chat and see how everyone's feeling. Amazing coins, yes. Game of God says, hey, amazing coins for you. Okay, Milk Money. Yeah, R.I.P. Elmo. Must have had mantra too. Oh, it's a good one, Milk Money. Oh my god. Oh jeez. All right, so top 20 Google Trends today. What are the normies searching for? Of course, they're normally searching for only 3 things. They're looking for what? Celebrities. Looking for video games, and they're looking for sports, primarily sports, especially this time of year. San Diego earthquake, Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia, Katy Perry. Of course, celebrity sports. Papa, I don't know who that is. Paige Buickers. I don't know who any of these people are. Harvard. Isabel Merst, the Starbucks dress code. What the hell? People have a lot of weird priorities. Haley Van Leith, JD Vance, Sonia Citron. I don't know who all these people are. Royals versus Yankees. Sports. Normies love their sports. Josh Groban, I think that's an actor. Tigers versus Brewers, Astros, Cardinals, sports. They love their sports. IRS payment. Yeah, we're getting down to the end here. I think you guys have like less than 24 hours to submit to the IRS. Jed the Fish. I don't know. Normie's doing normie things today, guys. They get an F. A grade F. That's it. That's what they get today. All right, moving on. Are they even looking at Bitcoin today? Does not look like it on the 12-month tracker. Does not look like they are. Of course, in the last 7 days, they are absolute lows for any Bitcoin searches right now at around 30 on Google Trends. Okay, all right, full circle, guys. Where is Bitcoin
I'm worried about fraud.
at the current moment? If I can click on the right thing. Jesus. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Of course, looks like we're bouncing off of our bottom. Of course, the bottom was the big buy target, about 80, what was it, 82K. I was thinking right, 82K when we just looked at it earlier. 84K. Yeah, so yeah, duh. 84K. So we're bouncing pretty much off of there right now. 84.7, 84.5, and heading back up to retest 85K at the current moment. We're about $300 away from it, 250 right now. About ready to smash on through and see if Japan has the potential to do it. Looks like we're getting slapped right in the face about 15 minutes ago. All right, so that's what's going on in Bitcoin at the present moment. Of course, what happened last night? Quick little recap. Of course, we were looking at a bull target, a baseline target, pretty much right down the middle, smack dab on top of that. Of course, we're tired of winning. We're tired of winning. Okay, so we're going to clean up this again. Being on it again, another day in the books, guys. Just another day. But I did want to probably keep this one up here, as I say this has not been invalidated just quite yet. This is of course our Super Bowl prediction from last night. It's a bit messy. I could probably clean that up again today and do a new one. Let's just clean this up, get it all started. I would love to still see this break out though. And get us to our 92K target, but we are a couple days invalidated from this now from last Monday. I cannot believe we drew that a whole week ago. All right, so let us get everything cleaned up here. It has been a mess, guys. It's been a mess. And let's get the predictions going with the ritual. The ritual has begun. That's right. What ritual am I talking about? Well, I've got a Chaos Magic Altar. That's right. We have our Crypto Chaos Magic Altar with a sacrifice on it. A Benny! Not a Benny. Another Benny. Yes, we're going to burn another Benny as a sacrifice. Idolize the moon via the Moonstone. For Bitcoin, bring the power with the moon. As I showed you guys the pump over the weekend. If you guys caught my shorts over the weekend, I called it. The moon! Of course, setting us back towards 85K levels. All right, so if you guys are here for the first time, we do Crypto Chaos Magic for our predictions. This is how we get it right almost every single night. Oh my god, we were up to like 75 in a row. Then we missed one. Then we got another 10 or 2 or 15 or 20. And then we kind of off a little bit. So you guys get the idea. We're pretty much dead on every night. It's insane. And no one else does, of course, the weekend predictions as well as we do too. It's crazy. I cannot believe I pull it off. But I don't take all the credit. Of course, I give it to the Chaos Magic. If I can even light a candle tonight, I'm going to burn myself. I am running out of a wick. I might need another candle. can't do it without a candle. Shoot. Either that or I break a jar. Just start lighting. I can't do it, guys. I can't do it tonight. It's not long enough. I'm gonna burn my finger. There we go. All right. I'll have to buy another candle tomorrow. Yikes. All right. So the Bitcoin candle has been lit. We're placing that on our altar. Of course, we do our mantra, our seance, Chaos, and we burn a little Benny for the crypto chaos gods, because what better to power Bitcoin than chaos? Alrighty, of course, it's searing on the altar right now, getting it started. And shout out to Michael Saylor making this all possible.
Bitcoin's powered by chaos.
Thank you, Saylor. Thank you. That's what I want to hear. All right, so now that we got that going, we can let that burn in the background. Of course, we did it, of course, with the power of the Bitcoin pizza lighter. All right, so now we're going to grab our ritual sticks, as we do every single night, that represent our big time zone, our big time frames, right? Our ritual sticks, of course, show you where all the volatility is going to be in the world via Eastern Standard Time. If you guys follow these three numbers, 3, 9, and 12, you know exactly where all the volatility in the world is going to be taking Bitcoin up or down. That's why, of course, we went over the sentiment with you right before the market predictions. Of course, following the market live with you, we can get an idea where the overall sentiment is going to lie on top with Bitcoin. All right, we got them in place right now, and yeah, we're off to the races. Looks like we're still kind of on this bullish trend line. I'd say maybe we can bring it down a little bit, readjust this, and yeah, we pretty much still have our bull trend. This could, of course, play out until, I do not make this up, guys, every single time it lands on one of these time frames. And of course, what I'm referring to is these levels of previous levels of support, which now become previous new levels of resistance, trending into the bull trend, and everyone following a flag, which is going to break out at, ironically, the market close for the foreign markets on average, about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, you can't make this stuff up. It plays out like this almost every single night. It just does. It just does. And of course, what I'm referring to is the volume. Look at this down here. The volatility and the volume is crazy spikes around these three numbers. It doesn't matter what you are on the other side of the world or not. This is what controls the markets. It's something that I've noticed over the years. So yeah, 9 o'clock being the market open, boom. And then we have 12 being around day trading. And then we have the market close around 3 p.m. Usually, of course, we have those three numbers representing market sell-off when the previous market close has been higher or lower, and you get the gist or the idea. So right now, we pretty much had a sideways action today, which is, again, if we can continue moving upward for Bitcoin and breaking out above these higher levels of 85K, we can push towards our 90, 92K target, which will, of course, get us onto the road back again to $120,000 Bitcoin. All right, so that's the intended target. It's not going to happen tonight, of course. It's going to be a slow-moving target, but yeah, I would love to be wrong one night and we just shoot up there for no reason. But until we do, the Chaos Magic is just going to keep showing us exactly where we're headed. Okay, so our baseline target tonight is basically going to be playing off of this, breaking on out into the market. It closes in the foreign market, coming down, chopping a little sideways, and probably rolling on over into the market open tomorrow. Something like that would be what I'm guessing is going to be pretty straightforward, pretty baseline and boring. So that's going to be our baseline target. And we're going to take that into our bull target, which is going to be not that color. I really don't like that they still haven't, fixed that, or at least made it a different. Anyway, I'm not going to go into the semantics of what I do and do not like about the UI and TradingView. Anyway, so our bullish breakout would be maybe a first retest here, and then finally a breakout right before the market closes. Hopefully trying to reclaim at least 85K, bouncing off of there and then coming back down into the market open. A little higher, but not that much more higher. So that's going to be our bull target for the evening. And then our super bull target, let's do our bear target first before we do the fun, silly, nonsensical ones that are more than likely not going to happen. But of course, they play out from time to time. So of course, we got our bear market target, which are our bear target, which would be, of course, an earlier breakout into the middle of the afternoon day trading in Japan. So something like this, of course, but then we fall back down, get tighter there in those range, and then go back down to retest 84, probably around 84 by the market close, and just a little bit of a recovery into the market open, not much, of course, in the American market open. Okay, so that is our bear target. Then we're going to get into the super bear and the Super Bowl. Super Bowl tonight would be fun. I would love to see it play out, but I highly doubt it. And that would be, of course, a retest of the 85K, breakout into about 87. I don't think this is going to happen, but I, of course, show you all the possibilities, even if they're more than likely not. And, of course, give you my opinion where we're headed realistically. And, of course, we see it the following day, every single day, almost hitting it on the spot every single night. It's crazy. I can't make this shit up. It just happens. I just follow the magic. I just follow the magic. All right, so, yeah, crazy bull market nonsense, and, of course, a sell down in the market open. Okay, so that is what we're looking at for tonight. Oh yeah, I'm forgetting one participant, one market participant. Who is it? Who am I looking for? The Super Bears. That's right, the Super Bears. Oh, I didn't forget about you. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you, Super Bears. Silly people. Still calling for those $69,000 market drops, some crazy 72K levels. We still have not seen to this day. The lowest we got down to in recent memory was 74.5. That's right. We did not even touch the fire sale target, which we still have marked on the board. We got close. We got about $500 away, maybe $1,000 from the fire sale target level. Of course, brought to you by the Bitcoin Rainbow Chart. Yeah, one of my favorite levels, of course. That's where I started. I actually started burning bennies when were on the fire sale last year. It was one of the glorious times we ever had on the stream. And I would just burn them all the time for fun. There's something wrong with me. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to do our Super Bear target just for the Super Bears because I don't want to leave anyone out. I like to represent everyone on the show. Why not? If we can do that. Disney's doing it. Why can't I? I'm not going to go there. Anyway, so yeah, we're going to go down there. We're just going to hit the fire sale, come right back up for no reason. I'm not calling for that at all. It's, of course, intended there as a satire for the Super Bears. You know who you are. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about tonight, right? So we're looking at our baseline target of about 84K, roughly, not really going anywhere. Still range bound between 85 and about 84. So 84.5, something like that by the end of tonight into tomorrow morning. And then our bull target, looking at a little higher, maybe touching or staying around 85K if we can get above it. We'll see. If not, then we're going to sell it off a little bit more in the morning, back down to 85 or 84.9, something like that in those ranges when we get closer to the previous level of support, which is now resistance. And then our Super Bull taking us all the way up to 87K or beyond or whatever, and coming back down and retesting 85. And our bear, why is that bear green or blue? What the hell? Bear target coming back down and setting us down to retest 84 and coming back to maybe just reclaim 84.5 in the morning. So somewhere, I think either way, we're probably going to end up around 84.5 or 85 by tonight. So I'm feeling pretty bullish. I feel like maybe a baseline or bullish again for me tonight. It'd be in my opinion. Somewhere in these levels, bouncing around into tomorrow morning. Of course, the market could sell off overnight as we get more responses out of China. But that, in my opinion, is where we're going to be headed. More than likely, I'm calling for a bull or a base case scenario. All right. So let me know in the chat how you guys are feeling tonight. How are you guys feeling tonight? Yeah, that was close. Yeah, every freaking night we're close. It's crazy. I don't know how we do it. I just give all the credit to the magic. All right. So, guys, again, hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are feeling great. And you're ready to go, and you're just being patient. You're sitting on your hands. You're not doing anything stupid, right? You're not doing anything stupid. We're just waiting patiently. We're pre-rich. That's fine. Just think out there. Like, remember the old PC Master Race memes? That's just us on the mountain, just looking down at the world, just waiting for our turn. That's us, guys. That's us. And we're almost there. So have a great night. I will catch you guys tomorrow morning. That's right, market open live streams with Otaku. Yeah, hopefully I can get a little bit more work done on the stream. But now that the house is going, I can't make any promises anymore, man. I really want Crypto Master Race, says Dagger. I love it. We're kind of going to be the new, we're going to be the new 1%. Thanks for the updates. Catch you on the AM later, bro. Ryan Miller, later. And thank you for bringing on the doom. Later.
currency by continuing to have the rule of law.
You always print money to do that.
I suppose it would diminish our status as the reserve currency.
Just shut up. There's no expectation of privacy above the in the sky. So Bitcoin is the solution because you can buy Bitcoin right.
I just picked up this candle and I thought it was my water. Trying to take a drink out of it. Oh my god. Alright guys, so yeah, don't forget to have a little piece of financial freedom, and I will see you guys later. Peace.